She was a person that people liked. She was always smiling. She didn't meet anybody she didn't like. She loved to talk, loved to meet people. I decided God really wanted me to go to Bible school. So the next year, I started in Bible school in August, and that was the year Kathy started. So the school had known me, the students there had known me, so I could have been hooked up with somebody else if I'd have gone the first year out of high school. But God just had it planned for me to meet her, and she was in my class. So I just kind of got attracted to her and would give her the eyes, and she'd feel me looking at her. And well, her name was Button. I just thought she was cute as a button. Just her looks and she was very shy then, but she just caught my eye. I think God put it in my eye. November of 2010, she noticed a lump in her breast. She went and had the mammogram, had it diagnosed, and the doctor wanted to do a biopsy. So in December, he did a biopsy. She had probably a year after the surgery that things were good, didn't anything, but then she started feeling lumps in other part of her body. And so I went and had those diagnosed, and they were cancer cells. So they started fighting those, starting doing chemotherapy. So she did chemo for a while, different types. Some worked for a while, and they wanted to change because they figured she'd get immune to one if she had it too long. She started having ache in her shoulder and hips and thought it was just arthritis, but it was diagnosed that cancer got in the bone. So she had a few rounds of radiation. First one was 13 weeks, every week going in. Second one was 6, and it helped her bones. The doctor was afraid they would get too brittle and fall, and she would break very easily, so they wanted to do that. And that seemed to help her joints, but then she kept finding more lumps and more lumps, so they tried different chemotherapies. Well, when she was diagnosed, we figured that God would trust us with it. You know, he had, like Paul had to, you know, we figured it was an eye problem that God trusted him with. He wanted to taken away, but God trusted him with it, and we figured God would trust us to handle this the way he'd want us to handle it, and still praise him, just like Job did. It's a lot of work, and to stay positive, you know, it's hard, but she was positive too, so it was easy to stand by her. I mean, I loved her enough to go through whatever we had to go through. We've been through other things in our married life, you know, financial troubles and things. That this is just another bump in the road that we were traveling, but we were willing to do it together. I had gotten into her liver, and they really couldn't do any more treatments for it, and was in her bones, and so she figured that she just had enough of the tests and the chemos and different things. She was in the hospital for the month of October before she passed away, and she had had enough of all that with the radiation and chemo, and you know, I couldn't blame her. I'd seen what she'd gone through, and it was tough, so it was time to stop. When God took her, he healed her, and we told the kids their prayers were answered. God does answer, not in our way all the time, but she's healed, so she doesn't have to go through it anymore. It's different. There's nobody to call when you're coming home, nobody there to greet you or spend a night with, but luckily I have a church family that really is supportive, and a family that's supportive, and keep them busy. I do a lot of refereeing after school, and that's kept me busy, so minimal downtime at home. Just be a good support and have a positive attitude. You know, just feel like you can beat it no matter what. If you're going in with that attitude and feel like you can beat it, then that's going to help a whole lot. And having a church family to back you up really makes a big difference. Because we had so many visitors, Kathy, that, I mean, even hospice couldn't believe how many visitors came through, just constantly visiting. I don't know how people do it without knowing Christ. The faith just kept us going. Knew that God could heal, and he could any time, and we expected it to be any time, and we prayed that way. So having the faith in God, we knew that no matter what happened, we could get through it.